Alright, welcome back to our podcast. I'm the gentleman, accompanied by the disturbed Southern Belle.
Hello.
And in this episode, we will be continuing the cryptids by state with Vermont. And starting with Vermont, we have the Pigman of Northfield.
All right.
So, somewhere in the forest of central Vermont is said to live a very strange creature described as some sort of pig-human hybrid.
Okay.
He's said to be a humanoid figure that is covered in coarse white hair and has a face that has a strong resemblance to that of a pig.
He sounds handsome.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
So, as for its origin story, supposedly on Halloween Eve in 1951, a 17-year-old boy named Sam Harris headed out with some eggs for a night of mischief, which he had nicknamed Picket Night.
Mm-hmm.
However, the next morning, when his parents awoke and found that he had not returned home the night before, the parents, of course, reported their son missing immediately, which set off a massive search that lasted for several weeks and involved hundreds of volunteers, covering hundreds of square miles.
Goodness.
Sadly, Sam was never found, although there have been those that claim they have witnessed the boy and that he appeared to be possessed by the devil himself.
Okay.
Sam is said to slaughter pigs, eat their entrails, and then to add insult to injury, he would then hollow out the head and wear it as a mask.
Well, of course.
As you do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
So, he will then head out to strike fear and terror in the hearts of those in the area. He's said to haunt the hills that surround the area known as the Devil's Washbowl.
Well, of course.
You gotta haunt the Devil's Washbowl.
Yeah, really. That name is just begging to be haunted.
Oh, yeah. So, he's also known for lying with the pigs and carnal nature, which will then result in the spawn of a demonic half-man, half-pig hybrid offspring.
So he's making more, you might say?
Yes.
That is disgusting and oh so creepy.
So, there have been sightings. Several years after Sam's disappearance, a group of high schoolers were parked out behind their school.
Mm-hmm.
The kids all admitted to drinking, however, they all state that they saw what they described as a thing came out of the woods.
Okay.
You know, those good old things.
Yeah, that just come shuffling out of the woods.
They described the creature as walking on two legs like a man, and they went on to say that the beast was naked, covered in white hair, and was wearing a hollowed-out pig's head like some nightmarish mask.
Oh my God.
Well, that's a sight.
It's so random and weird to see some naked man covered in white hair shuffling out of the woods with a hollowed-out pig head on. What the hell? Oh my God.
So, the kids, like most would if faced with such a creepy creature, tore out of the parking lot and headed home. Then, they began to tell everyone that would listen about the strange beasts they had encountered.
Of course.
As one does.
Oh, yeah.
And soon after, a farmer stepped forward and claimed that he too had witnessed a mysterious creature, matching the description, digging through his garbage on one night.
Now that is even more random to come out and find this creepy weirdo out in the garbage.
So, most think that the Pigman is just a story that was made for to be a good story to tell on something like Halloween.
Right.
However, some think that, go figure, this would be a species of Bigfoot. You can't escape Bigfoot.
No, this is an interesting Bigfoot, but sure, why not?
There's always a Bigfoot behind everything.
Yeah, any weird creature we see is apparently Bigfoot.
Anyways, no one really knows for sure whatever it is, obviously, whether it's just a creepy story to tell or whether it's just some mutated human running rampant. Definitely really a cryptid.
Yeah, for real. You don't hear about a lot of pigmen per se, so yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, very interesting. And naked. It's just it sounds
a naked
like
man
some
running
weirdo.
out of the woods.
Yeah, it just sounds like some weirdo, but yeah.
It does.
Whatever.
So, moving on, we're going to Virginia with Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay beast.
Ooh.
So this legendary aquatic cryptid by the name of Chessie is said to lurk in the vast expanse of the Chesapeake Bay.
Mm-hmm.
This elusive creature has been capturing the attention and imagination of fishermen, sailors, and beachgoers for generations.
I bet so.
Descriptions of this creature say that it is an absolutely enormous serpentine beast, and is said to have a long, sinuous body, a horse-like head, and large, powerful flippers that allow it to propel itself effortlessly through the water.
So it's a Leviathan sort of creature.
Pretty much.
Alrighty.
Those that have claimed to have witnessed this massive sea snake say it has the ability to move at an incredibly fast speed, and that it has the agility to disappear completely from view beneath the surface quicker than the blink of an eye.
Good grief.
Its speed is said to be able to outpace the fastest and swiftest of boats.
Well, yeah, that's sounding like something you don't really want to toy with anyway.
Yeah. So, as for origins, the origins of this huge snake-like cryptid are a mystery. Some have theorized that it may be a surviving remnant of some prehistoric marine reptile, such as the plesiosaur or mosasaur.
Maybe.
While some think that it may be some type of undiscovered species of giant eel or perhaps some other aquatic creature that has managed to avoid detection.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of weird that it would, but I mean, I guess not unheard of, depending on
That's
where
not
it was
impossible.
hiding, I guess.
So, as for sightings, the sightings of this massive cryptid have been reported since the 1930s.
Dang.
Witnesses describe a beast that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. There are also some claims of photos or videos of the beast, but there have never been anything substantially provided as proof.
Never are. It's always the grainy, out of focus pictures.
It's another, God, what was it? Nessie, the Loch Ness monster.
Right.
Anyways, there's some that believe that Chessie may be related to other aquatic cryptids, such as the infamous Loch Ness monster from Scotland. These creatures could possibly be moving from different bodies of water, so it could technically be the same one. Not impossible, improbable, but impossible. Of course, that doesn't mean that any of these actually exists, but it does make you wonder.
It does. I mean, yeah, because sometimes sightings will be like really heavy in one area and then they'll kind of die off and, so, I mean, it makes you wonder, but anyway, it's interesting anyway, just to imagine.
So, just real quick, going off script here, this is the third Leviathan creature we have covered that is, or could be, the same creature.
Right.
First, we covered Nessie, because of course we covered Nessie.
Right.
Then there was another one, I can't remember what it was called. It was like one of our earliest episodes on the podcast. And then there's this one.
Right.
Yeah. And yet we have covered God knows how many versions of Bigfoot.
Right. Exactly.
Anyways, just going off topic on a tangent. Moving on, we're going to Washington with the Batsquatch.
Oh, wait, that sounds like a good one.
So, if you were asked to name the most well-known cryptid from the state of Washington, most people would think of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
However, there is said to be another odd Bigfoot-like creature that is also said to be lurking in the state's dense forests. This weird cryptid is described as being bipedal and similar in stature to Bigfoot. However, that is where the similarities seem to end. This odd beast is said to be covered in bluish-gray fur. Its head is said to be that of a wolf, or at the very least dog-shaped, with pointed ears, piercing red glowing eyes. Which, yay!
Yeah, sounds very interesting.
So, its most haunting feature is said to be its leathery bat-like wings that can span up to 50 feet or roughly 15 meters. But most commonly, they're said to be around 10 feet. Wow.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of blue furred creatures either.
You really don't.
So, okay.
Anyways, it's said that this creature can actually glide silently, which is terrifying.
Yeah, It is. It is very much so.
So, as for sightings, the sightings of this odd cryptid started relatively recently, with most of them being reported in the 80s and 90s. Strangely, most sightings have been reported happening near Mount St. Helens.
That is creepy.
With the height of the sightings happening soon after the horrific eruption that took place in 1980.
Right. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. See, this led to researchers to speculate if the creature had somehow been driven above ground by the volcanic activity, which is possible.
That's true.
Others, however, thought that it was perhaps a mutated creature caused by the volcanic ash that rained down over the area, or maybe it was just another supernatural cryptid that had been sleeping and happened to just be awakened.
That's creepy too, to think you woke this thing up. Ugh.
So, one of the most detailed sightings come from an 18-year-old man by the name of Brian Canfield. He reported that while traveling near Mount Rainier in April of 1994, he suddenly had car trouble. He claims that his truck just stalled out of the blue and that he tried to restart the truck, and as he was turning the key waiting for the engine to start, he claims a huge winged creature landed on the road right in front of him.
Okay.
He said the beast stood at approximately 9 feet tall, or a little over 2 meters, and Canfield described it as being covered in blue fur with a wolf-like face and glowing red eyes.
Righty.
He states the creature stood in the road just staring at him for several minutes before finally launching itself into the air. He claims that a gust of wind from the beast's takeoff shook his vehicle violently, and he said the creature then flew away into the night.
That is creepy.
Yeah.
Very creepy.
Why was it just staring at him?
I don't know. Like landed there and just looking at you. I don't know. That's creepy to me.
So, while Canfield's sighting is considered to be one of the most famous, it's certainly not the only one that has been reported. There have been countless individuals that claim to have seen similar creatures flying over the forest of Gifford Pinchot, whatever, National Forest. The Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. I am sure I butchered that.
It's okay.
And the Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument.
Hey.
There have even been reports of finding large, unidentifiable footprints in the volcanic ash and mud that surrounds Mount St. Helens, which leads many to further believe that the creature was active in the area immediately after the eruption. Which is interesting.
That is.
It does lead to the theory that it had been awoken by the eruption.
Right. Or driven or something. Yeah, that's odd.
So, as for origins, some think that the Batsquatch may be an unknown species of underground bat that was forced above ground, or that it may be a type of flying primate creature that was hidden in a nearby cave system.
Possible.
Some believe that it may be a supernatural creature, a spirit animal, or a guardian of the volcano. Interestingly, the Batsquatch is also strangely similar to another famous winged cryptid, and that is the Mothman of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. They're both described as being a large humanoid with glowing red eyes and a wingspan of approximately 10 feet. So perhaps this could be a similar creature, or maybe more than one of these beasts came from the caves or underground after the eruption.
You never know. I mean, what if it did? That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. For now, the creature is just a weird and strange mystery that just adds more charm to local folklore.
Right.
And due to the creature's supposedly elusive nature and the preference to remain in the extremely remote and densely forested areas, an actual investigation of this beast would be near impossible.
Yeah, really.
So, who's to say? There could be literally anything living out in those wooded areas.
It's true. Very true.
But I guess now you don't just have to keep a lookout for Bigfoot.
Yeah, really, right? You gotta keep your eyes up in the trees now for Batsquatch swooping down
Although,
silently.
one good thing, it doesn't seem to be too hostile.
No, I didn't really I've never really heard of it supposedly attacking anyone.
No.
For that matter, I mean, I've never really heard anybody saying Bigfoots attacked them either. So they don't really seem to be hostile, no. So I guess that's one good thing.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be it for this episode. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. And if you like these episodes, check out our YouTube channel where we actually upload exclusive YouTube content. And there is a playlist of all the YouTube exclusives where you can find them. I'll now turn it over to the Belle so she can tell you about her next episode.
We'll be continuing on and finishing up very shortly our series with cryptids by state. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and don't forget to stay disturbed.